Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. The Justice Department has been receiving more information on the deaths of high-profile inmates at the new Bilibid prison. DOJ Secretary Boying Remulla said they are vetting the allegations before taking action on the claims. Meanwhile, the Bureau of Corrections has forwarded some of the testimonies on high-profile cases to the NBI. The national government and telecommunications firms are in the final stretch of preparations for mandatory SIM card registrations that will begin later this month. Here's the report.
Over 150 million mobile subscribers will soon be mandated to register their SIM card with their respective telecom operators. The SIM Card Registration Act will take effect on December 27. New SIM cards bought after this date will be in the activated mode, and users can only have them activated once they register. Subscribers, both old and new, must register their SIM cards within 180 days from the law's effective date. But the DICT says they may extend the registration period for another 120 days. Failure to register during the period will result in the activation of their SIM cards. The registration shall be accomplished electronically through a platform or website that the public telecommunications entities will establish. Government agencies and PTEs will also put up registration facilities in remote areas with limited data or internet access. For their part, the DICT and Telco said they are in the final stage of preparations for the SIM card registration. Speaking on Radyo 5, DICT Assistant Secretary Ana Mayo Lamentillo said telcos are already developing platforms to be used for SIM registration.
We're still doing some revisions, pero rest assured, sir, na yung platform po ay ginagawa na before pa, and that we will be ready for the December 27 registration process.
The SIM Card Registration Act was signed by President Bongbong Marcos in a bid to combat fraud and cybercrimes. NCT consultant Edgardo Cabarios meanwhile said that telcos will be ready to handle lost or stolen SIM cards.
Pagka nawala po o ninakaw, immediate po ang reporting yan, no?
Yeah.
O, huwag na kayo magdalawang isip, i-report po kaagad kasi delikado po yan, no? Kung makunan iba at gamitin for illegal activities, kayo po ang number one suspect, kayo ang nasa registration,
Correct.
Sa inyo nakapangalan.
The DICT added that the implementing rules and regulations will also provide proper penalties and fines for users of fake registration documents. The agency, as well as telco firms, are also preparing to use biometric and facial identification systems in registration and the possibility of using fingerprints as well. For News 5, Camille Samonte, we are One News.
One News Now will be back with more stories after this quick break. Keep it here. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. Plenary debates on the Maharlika Investment Fund continue, with its proponents hoping to pass the bill on second reading this week. Marian Enriquez with the report.
Plenary debates on the Maharlika Investment Fund continued on Wednesday. This time around, Albay Representative Edsa Lagman questioned whether the bill is part of the government's medium-term fiscal framework. This framework serves as a blueprint for the Marcos administration in terms of managing the economy.
It is not part of the medium term.
It was not explicitly done in the MTF.
It was not explicitly stated.
However,
However,
the MTF
I suppose the sponsoring chairman is being embarrassed by the coaching from his side. Because probably those who are coaching him can come forward and then answer directly my interpellation.
His fellow Albay lawmaker Joey Salceda had this to say.
This fund, in fact, was already discussed in the DBCC, and in so doing, that DBCC deliberation already makes the Maharlika Investment Fund part and parcel of the MTFF.
However, Lagman was not satisfied with his answer.
That does not answer my question, Mr. Speaker. My question is the Maharlika Investment Fund included expressly in the medium-term fiscal framework, which both the Senate and the House approved?
In the version that the House approved, no.
No. How about in the version approved by the Senate?
No.
No.
Bec-
Why is this so? Is it because it's a medium term and the Maharlika Investment Fund is supposed to be a long-term investment?
Lagman also argued that economic conditions at the moment are not ideal to come up with a sovereign wealth fund, unlike during the time of President Noynoy Aquino, where it was first proposed. Because of this, Lagman insists that it is not the right time to push for the Maharlika Investment Fund.
While the Philippines, may I reiterate, has no surplus in revenues, in fact, we have a deficit. We have a surfeit, negative economic terminators. We are lagging in the socio-economic services among the Asian countries with respect to education, employment, healthcare, and human development.
He also appealed to his fellow lawmakers to take the time this holiday to go over the bill.
I beg the leadership that since we are going to a Christmas break of more than 1 month, to afford members of the House to consult with their constituents on the pros and cons of the Maharlika bill.
For now, interpellations on the measure have been suspended. Deliberations are expected to continue tomorrow. Proponents of the bill still hope to have it passed on second reading this week before adjourning for Christmas break. For News 5, Marian Enriquez, we are One News.
Finance Secretary Benjamin Diokno has urged President Bongbong Marcos to certify as urgent the bill creating the Maharlika Investment Fund. Diokno said that the MIF will facilitate economic transformation and help the country achieve its maximum potential. President Marcos had earlier defended the proposed Maharlika Fund as a vehicle for investments. Secretary Diokno expects the measure creating the Sovereign Wealth Fund to be passed into law by mid-2023. Under this bill, the sitting Finance Secretary will serve as chairman of the MIF board. Let's now take a quick look at today's other top stories. The COMELEC has disqualified Cagayan Governor Manuel Mamba for violating the election spending ban. The COMELEC decision stemmed from a petition claiming that Mamba was vote buying under the guise of cash assistance distribution. Mamba has been given 5 days to appeal the decision. Meralco has signed an emergency power supply agreement with Aboitiz-led GN Power after the suspension of its supply deal with San Miguel Corporation. Under this new deal, GN Power will supply Meralco with 300 megawatts coming from its Diningin plant in Bataan starting today. The World Health Organization is hoping to lift the global emergency status for COVID-19 by 2023. This is after the WHO observed a drastic decline in COVID-19 deaths from a year ago. For more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News Live anytime, anywhere. I am Sean Yao. We are One News.